after giving y'all that foundation, right? If somebody is saying that oil is not a part of this conversation, you can tell them, I know you lying, because no. 100% oil is that girl. And Venezuela holds the largest proven oil reserve. So if they have the oil, and oil is that girl, oil is the big money tank. Like, it's big bank tank, little bank. It is leverage. It is power. It is asset. It's resource, right? And they're sitting on a whole bunch of it. There's leverage automatically. Automatically. If it were only about oil, though, right? We know the conversation will end right here. This will be it. This will be done with PowerPoint. She's done. But that's not the case. That's not the case. So you know it's deeper. You know it's deeper. So the dollar, right? Because the U.S. has such, let's say, control, operationally speaking, over the oil itself, right? They control how it moved, how it was priced, all the pieces, right? Because oil's what the it girl. You're going to have to put the oil in my form of currency. You're going to have to put it in my money, which is U.S. dollars. So the oil was put in U.S. dollars, which means anytime oil's in the room, you got to talk to me, because what is my money? It's my currency. You always got to invite me to that table. That's leverage. That is power. Power is leverage, right? Okay. So if you got to put everything in U.S. dollars, if you want to get oil, you got to put it in U.S. dollars, right? That automatically makes the demand for U.S. dollars go up, even if it's not necessarily there. Not to say that it wouldn't be there, but it automatically inflates the need, the value, and the weight of the U.S. dollar, right? Right? So let's say, and for a nation that openly discusses having an exuberant amount of debt, right? Knowing that you got to convert your money into my money, irregardless of that, is a move for me. It's a power play. It's leverage. It is leverage. If I walk into a room and I'm like, look, I have, let's say, a Lambo, right? I got this car, pew, pew, Fast and Furious. You're not going to question. Do I really got the money for the Lambo? Because you see me with it. I got the power and the play and the moves. I'm like, hey, everything that I need already been verified by somebody. You don't ask if it's rented, leased, or otherwise, right? You just, it's there. But realistically speaking, right, that's all really based off leverage and power. All that's based off leverage and power. So I just want to kind of explain that petrodollar dynamic, because I think that's super important to understand, because now it makes more sense why they're going like head up and back and forth the way that they're going at it. Because a lot of what we say with regards to our money and our power and our influence is based off the weight of the U.S. dollar, saying our dollar is top dollar. We that hot girl. We that right? You're it, but you're it because of the what? Some of the assets that made it what it is. So some of that control over what? The oil. Because oil is what? Oil is the it girl. So here's where things start to get interesting. It starts to get interesting. This enters BRICS. This is where we start talking about the money. BRICS is, we'll just put it this way. It is being discussed as a direct threat to the dollar monopoly in the global trade, right? So it's an alternate. It's literally an alternative system for how the money can move. It's not associated with the Western system for which we have been accustomed, right? Because they're not requiring the use of the US dollar. right? So it threatens the system, right? And that's where it gets interesting.